Welcome to today's Psych with Sigmund, where we explore the fascinating world of psychology and uncover the secrets of the human mind. I'm your host, Sigmund, and today we're going to delve into a captivating topic that affects us all: mood-congruent memory. Mood-congruent memory refers to the phenomenon where our emotional state influences what we remember and how we recall past events. In other words, when we're in a particular mood, we tend to remember experiences and details that are consistent with that mood. This concept is crucial in psychology because it reveals how our emotions play a significant role in shaping our perceptions, memories, and behaviors. The idea of mood-congruent memory has been around for several decades, with roots in cognitive psychology and emotional theory. One of the key researchers who contributed to our understanding of this concept is psychologist Gordon Bower, who proposed that emotions serve as a framework for organizing and retrieving memories. According to Bower's associative network theory, emotions are linked to specific nodes or networks in our brain, which are activated when we experience a particular emotion. This activation influences what we remember and how we recall past events. As we explore the theoretical background of mood-congruent memory, it's essential to discuss the role of emotional arousal and its impact on memory consolidation. Research has shown that high levels of emotional arousal can enhance memory formation, especially for emotionally charged events. However, this can also lead to biases in memory recall, where we tend to remember more information that is consistent with our current emotional state. Numerous studies have demonstrated the power of mood-congruent memory. For example, a classic study by Bower found that participants who were induced into a happy or sad mood were more likely to recall memories that matched their current emotional state. More recent research has replicated these findings using neuroimaging techniques like fMRI to examine the neural mechanisms underlying mood-congruent memory. One interesting example of mood-congruent memory in action is the rosy retrospection effect, where people tend to remember past experiences more positively than they actually were. This phenomenon can be attributed to the influence of our current mood on memory recall, as well as the natural tendency to reframe negative experiences in a more positive light over time. So, how can understanding mood-congruent memory help us in our everyday lives? For one, it can aid in managing stress and anxiety by recognizing how our emotions influence our perceptions and memories. By becoming aware of our current emotional state and its potential impact on memory recall, we can take steps to manage our emotions and develop more constructive coping strategies. Therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy often utilize this understanding to help patients challenge their negative thought patterns and work towards a more balanced view of their past. By acknowledging the role of mood-congruent memory, we can learn to approach our memories with a critical eye, considering the emotional context in which they were formed and recalled. Let's consider another real-world example to illustrate this concept further. Imagine that you've just gone through a difficult breakup and you're feeling sad and nostalgic. As you reflect on the relationship, you might find yourself recalling all the times your partner hurt or disappointed you. However, if you take a step back and recognize that your current mood is influencing these memories, you might also remember the happy times you shared, like vacations or special moments together. By acknowledging the role of mood-congruent memory, you can work towards a more balanced understanding of the relationship and avoid getting stuck in negative rumination. In conclusion, mood-congruent memory is a powerful concept that highlights the complex interplay between our emotions, memories, and perceptions. It reminds us that our experiences are not fixed entities, but are influenced by our current state of mind. As we navigate our lives, remembering this dynamic can help us cultivate empathy for ourselves and others, acknowledging that our perspectives are always subject to the mood of the moment. By recognizing the impact of mood-congruent memory on our recollections, we can develop a more nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We can learn to approach our memories with a critical eye, considering the emotional context in which they were formed and recalled. This can help us break free from negative thought patterns and develop more constructive coping strategies. That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.